Let's go. Yes, this one.
Welcome to Old School Life Discussions with Will, where we talk cruising, real life lessons, and today's issues from an old school perspective. Now, folks, today's discussion is going to be a little different. We're not talking about cruise ships. We're not talking about travel. We're not talking about current events. Today, we're talking about something much bigger. We're talking about people. We're talking about kindness. We're talking about a simple moment that reminded me of something I believe we've forgotten. The other day I watched a video clip that absolutely stopped me in my tracks. It wasn't a celebrity. It wasn't a politician. It wasn't some major world event. It was a little girl, maybe around 2 years of age. She walked up to a piano player on the streets and asked him to play her favorite song.
Do you know how to play Let's Go by Frozen?
Let's go. Yes, this one. You want to sing?
Hi, my name is Leon and I'm 3 years old and I'm gonna be singing Let It Go.
Okay.
Let It Go from the movie Frozen. Now, before I go any further, the original clip contains copyrighted music, so out of respect for copyright laws, Old School can't play the original audio. But honestly, the music isn't what caught my attention. The little girl wasn't what caught my attention either, although she came up and wanted her favorite song played. What caught my attention was the crowd. Standing behind her were people from every walk of life, different races, different cultures, different ages, different backgrounds, different stories. People who, under normal circumstances, may never even speak to one another. Yet there they stood, smiling, laughing, watching this child sing her heart out. Some were recording the moment. Others simply stood there watching. A few looked emotional. Some appeared to have tears in their eyes. And for a brief moment, nobody cared about their differences. Nobody cared who voted for whom. Nobody cared where somebody came from. Nobody cared about religion. Nobody cared about politics. Nobody cared about social status. They were simply human beings sharing a beautiful moment together. And folks, that hit Old School right in the heart, because I started thinking about where we are today. Turn on the television, open social media, listen to some conversations taking place across this country. And sometimes it feels like everybody is angry. Everybody is divided. Everybody is choosing sides. Everybody is looking for reasons to dislike somebody else. We've become experts at finding what separates us, but we've forgotten how to appreciate what brings us together. Now, don't get me wrong. People have always disagreed. That's nothing new. When I was growing up, people disagreed. When I worked in law enforcement, people disagreed. When I started cruising, people disagreed. Disagreement is part of life. The difference is that somewhere along the way, disagreement turned into hostility. Disagreement turned into division. Disagreement turned into people refusing to listen. And that's a dangerous road, because once we stop listening, we stop learning. And once we stop learning, we stop growing. That's why this little girl touched me so deeply. She didn't know anything about division. She wasn't worried about race. She wasn't worried about politics. She wasn't worried about who was rich and who was poor. She simply wanted to sing. And somehow, without even trying, she brought a group of complete strangers together. Think about that. A child did something that adults struggle to do every single day. She reminded people that joy still exists. She reminded people that innocence still exists. She reminded people that kindness still exists. And maybe that's exactly what we need right now. Maybe we need fewer arguments and more conversations. Maybe we need fewer labels and more understanding. Maybe we need fewer reasons to be offended and more reasons to be grateful. Now, folks, old school isn't naive. I know there are real problems in this world. I know there are challenges. I know there are things people feel strongly about. I'm not suggesting we ignore those things. What I am suggesting is that we remember our humanity while dealing with them. Because the truth is, we're only here for a short period of time. I know that's not always comfortable to think about, but it's true. One day we're young. The next day we're looking back wondering where those years went. Life moves fast, too fast. And when it's all said and done, are we really going to be proud of how much time we spent fighting each other? Are we going to be proud of all the anger, all the bitterness, all the division? Or are we going to wish we had spent more time appreciating the people around us? That's the question I asked myself after watching that video. And the answer wasn't difficult. I want to spend more time building bridges than walls. I want to spend more time listening than arguing. I want to spend more time encouraging than criticizing. And I want this channel to do the same. Now, don't worry. We're still going to talk about cruising. We're still going to talk about travel. We're still going to discuss current events and topics that matter. But from time to time, old school is going to bring you discussions like this. Conversations that make us stop and think. Conversations that remind us what's important. Conversations that challenge us to become a little better than we were yesterday. Because if we can change one heart, we've accomplished something. If we can change two hearts, we've accomplished even more. And if enough people decide to choose kindness over division, maybe we can begin moving in the right direction again. Now, here's what I'll do. First, slow down. Not ever disagreement needs to become a battle. Second, listen. Really listen. Not to respond, not to argue, just listen. Third, remember that every person you meet is carrying a story you know nothing about. A little understanding can go a long way. And finally, don't underestimate the power of simple moments. Sometimes the smallest moment leaves the biggest impact. A smile, a kind word, a helping hand, or a little girl singing a song. Folks, maybe that's why this video stayed with me, because it reminded me that hope still exists. It reminded me that goodness still exists. And it reminded me that maybe we're not as far apart as we think we are. Maybe there's still time. Maybe there are still hearts worth reaching. Maybe there are still people worth saving. And maybe, just maybe, old school can keep chipping away at that block of ice, one conversation at a time. This is Old School Will. Tell me what you think in the comments below. What is one thing we can do to bring people closer together? I would love to hear your thoughts. And until next time, this is Old School Will. We talk cruising, real life lessons, and today's issues from an old school perspective. As usual, now y'all stay blessed.